This is the Brothers and Influence podcast. We are in the building. Uh,
Yes, sir.
Once again, we thank everyone who will join us today and in the future. Uh, we stand to encourage, inspire, and uplift brothers, entrepreneurs, and those who want to move from career to calling and being the best they can be.
Yes,
I
sir. Yes,
have
sir.
with me my main man, the leadership locksmith in the building.
Yeah. Hey, good. Hey, we did better this time than we did last time. You got the countdown and everything. Yeah. No. Yeah. So hey, this is Sherrod Ledet, your leadership locksmith, aka the professor, aka the growth coach of Greater Lexington. As always, man, we're happy, excited to be here. Um, so again, missing our brother though, right? Missing our brother Ian. We know he's with us in spirit, but he's on vacation. He's well. He ain't left us. Let's go and put that out there. He ain't left us. We didn't run him off. He's just taking some R&R with his family. So we wish my man well. Love you, bro. Stay easy. Just rest. Do your thing. Kick it with your family though. So yeah, Shate, bro.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling?
Uh, I am Shante Price. I am your thought coach and leadership consultant. Um, I'm good. Been a pretty good week. I end up uh, taking a couple days off from work, coming down to Kentucky. I'm like 10 minutes from you right now. Just get a little relaxation.
Right,
Sit back,
right.
chill. Me and Aubrey. So yeah, it been good, man. I like really been relaxed too. Just been able to chill a little bit, rest a
Uh-huh.
little bit, and just enjoy life.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
it's been great.
yeah, you say that. That made me think, man, like there is no reason why we shouldn't have been able to like do this like together, like in the same room. So now I'm gonna think about because that'd be a whole nother like setup, like getting
Yeah,
yeah. But I'm gonna figure out how to do it because I think that's gonna be dope. Like get all three of us in the same room and be able to
yeah.
do it, like video it and then have our little mics and all that. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. How we can do that. Cause yeah, that'd be dope.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we most definitely do that. Most definitely. So one of the first things I wanted to jump out. I know it's the end of the month. We usually be up on the monthly things, but it's was it Women's History Month? I believe it is. So just want to it's easy to shout out to your mom or your wife, or I just want to just shout out to in general to all women, right?
Hmm.
Because uh, they carry a lot, especially women that are mothers, right? Caring for our children, uh, women in business, right? That even
Hmm.
have children, right? That's they carrying that other load. Single mothers, just women, man. They're the backbone, right? Women carry a lot. Uh, I know women have carried a lot dealing with me, so I can just imagine with other people.
Hey, I was about to say the same thing.
so, so
Yeah.
just shout out to the women, right? Shout out to the women, man. Shout out to the women doing your thing, doing it your way, how you want to do it, being successful in your lane.
Yeah. Yeah. Ditto that. Yeah. Because there are a lot of successful women, a lot of successful black women that are doing a lot of life changing things that are making strides in various different industries, business, life. Just hey, here's the reality. Neither one of us would be here without a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this bottom line. So yeah, we definitely just want to salute all the powerful women out there that are just making the change uh, in life and just in you know what in life, leadership, and community, right?
Yes,
In
sir.
life, leadership, and community. So we salute y'all and appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else has been going on? Oh,
Something I've been thinking about, right? So, because what it's been like a year, little over, no, like a year and a half since we just connected,
Who,
all three
me and
of us.
you, or all
No,
three of us?
all three of us, right? Like a year, a
Yeah,
little over a year, something.
mate,
But
mate. That honestly, I don't even know.
yeah,
Like we've been together
but
forever.
yeah, exactly. So but that's kind of what I was thinking about, right? How when you're on the road to success, that was kind of my thought pattern. When you're on the road to success, how the people that you connect with, how it just seems like they've always been there, right? It's like a puzzle piece, right? You can force a puzzle piece somewhere, but at the end of the day, it won't look right. It won't look right. But when that puzzle piece is in the right place, the picture is perfect, right? You get, it's the same picture that was on the box, what you were looking forward to. Even though you've seen the picture on the box, you look forward to what? Putting the pieces together so that you can see what you put together, right? And so I was just thinking about that with us, man. It's like you guys up my game,
Mm.
right? Because even though I was heading in a direction and I know what I wanted, I want to be a coach and I want to mentor youth and things like that. You guys were able to pull those intricate pieces out of me and help me put them in the right place so that as I'm on this road to success, this to accomplishing my vision, and that the road is a lot less bumpy.
So my pause and the huge smile on my face, right? Because I'm trying to refrain, like not to, like let me just be honest, like not to just take over the whole conversation, brother. Like here's the funny thing. Like I was literally just on, before I jumped on the call, I was on another call with some just things that I got, and I sent you a check your email too. So digress, but check your email. I sent you something. But I've been I have an experience, so to speak, or a story that just really connects to what you're talking about. And I agree with you. Like, I think that we were all intricate, right, to each other's level of success. I think we were all intricate to, again, connecting with each other and, again, being a part of each other's overall vision and wherever we were going as far as wherever success leads us, right? Because here's the other thing I think that's important is that even in this idea of a puzzle, right, and the idea of a puzzle piece, eventually you're going to put the puzzle together. But just because you put the puzzle together and you get all the pieces together and the picture is then formed, doesn't necessarily mean that the success or the journey is over. It just means that that part of the puzzle, the overall puzzle, or that picture, or that task, or that journey is complete, right? But then there's always another puzzle. There's always another picture. There's always a bigger vision. Like even in our vision and our picture, and I ain't trying to go deep that quick, but this is where you took me. Like even in the bigger picture, there's other small pictures, right? And I love the fact that you said that again, it's because we are connected that we're able to literally, like you said, you leveled up. But here's the thing, we all leveled up just because of our connection,
Yeah.
right? Just because of our connection. And the thing that I love that you brought into it, Shante, is that we all been able to level up is because we were able to share our picture, our vision, and what it is that we're looking to do with each other, right? Making us accountable to each other and helping each. So we're all working a puzzle, even though it may not be the same. So we're working the same puzzle and then our own individual puzzles. So while we're working on the big picture together, you're still working on your piece. I'm working on my puzzle. Ian's working on his, just like
Yeah.
everyone else that we're connected to, even in the community that we're building, right? So shout out to our Brothers in Influence community, right? Everybody who's in the community, they're all working on their puzzle as well.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be, look, handing each other pieces, right? Handing each other pieces. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this is good.
Yeah. Because another part of that is I was looking at because remember before we hooked up with Ian, we was working on trying to do a podcast, and we was just I pulled up I seen some of the old videos we were doing, and uh and I'm like, man, but it was part of the journey, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we were trying to get there, and then when Ian came into the mix with his vision, this vision that God put on his heart, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that that was a part of who he was. You know, it wasn't just something that he dreamed of or he thought of and it was gonna go by the wayside. He knew
Mm-hmm.
it was gonna happen, and he was just waiting for the pieces to fall into place, right? Which end up being us, those other
Mm-hmm.
pieces. So as we were working on our puzzle, like you were saying just saying a minute ago, as we was working on our puzzles, we connected, and he was working on his puzzle, we all connected, and he had a vision of
Mm-hmm.
something that interconnected us all
Right.
and pulled out that piece that we were all longing for, that piece that we were all uh, uh, that we knew that if we could do this, this would help propel us forward, right?
Right.
And like you said, that's what you always call me, like you call him our fearless leader, because he's a leader at heart, not only because of the passion that he has, but also because of the vision that he has, right?
Right.
And they're connecting those things, like he's spot on every time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to share this quote. So here's a quote. Um, you are a piece of the puzzle of someone else's life. You may never know where you fit, but others will fill the holes of their lives with pieces of you.
mm, say that again. Mm,
So you are a piece of the puzzle of someone else's life. You may never know where you fit, but others will fill the holes in their lives with pieces of you.
mm,
Right. So I want to share a quick story, right? Just indulge me real quick, right? So I want to share this quick story of, and you might even heard the story, but the context, and you brought this whole puzzle piece right into play, into the community, to the conversation. So my daughter, um, during the whole pandemic, when we were all locked in the house, right? Uh, she wanted to put a puzzle together. Now she put puzzles together before, but we had went to my parents' house. She got this puzzle. She loves unicorns. She loves horses and things. So she got this puzzle that was a picture of horses. So she got the puzzle because she liked the picture. Just sit on that for a minute, right? She got the puzzle because she liked the picture,
mm-hmm.
right? Okay. Now, got the puzzle home, and of course she's like, "Daddy, can you help me put this puzzle together?" Absolutely, Dad. We put this puzzle together. So she gets the puzzle downstairs. She opens the box, and there's like 1,000 pieces in the box, bro. 1,000 pieces, right? So of course, she's 10 at the time. So of course, in my mind, she's thinking, I know there's 1,000 pieces in her mind. It's probably like 1,000,000 pieces. She's like, there's no way this puzzle's gonna get together, right? So again, she asked, "Daddy, can you help me put this puzzle together?" "Yeah, baby girl, we can do this," right? So here's the interesting thing. So she got the puzzle, she got the pieces, but then what did she do, Jate? What do you think she did with the puzzle?
What she did with it,
Yeah, yeah. What do you think she did? What was the first thing you think she did?
to try to put together.
Yeah. But what she do? She dumped all the pieces out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, she dumped all the pieces out. So she's like, "Daddy, can you help me?" I'm like, "Yeah, got you." She said, "Okay, well, let's put it." So she started grabbing pieces, and she's trying to put it together. And I'm like, "Baby girl, what's the picture?" Right? So the box is on the floor, flipped upside down, so she can't see the picture. Now that's interesting. So how are we gonna put a puzzle together if we don't know what we're looking at? So I said, "Baby girl,
Mm-hmm.
let's flip the box up so we see the picture." So we put the picture up. Right. And again, long story short, man, I was like, "You see the picture?" She's like, "Yeah." So she's still grabbing pieces. I was like, "Okay, bet." So I grabbed all the pieces. I put them in the box that didn't have the picture. So I was like, and then I start giving her the edges so she can then put the edge. Because the best way to attack a puzzle, let's get the frame
Mm-hmm.
together, right? Let's put the frame together. Now, again, she liked the picture on the box, but she
Mm-hmm.
had no idea how many pieces were in the box. She had no idea what it was going to take to put this puzzle together, but she liked the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually we got the puzzle together, right? But here was my strategy. As we put the puzzle together, I made her focus on certain aspects of the picture. Focus here, focus there, focus here. And then I would hand her the pieces that she needed with the right colors and different things to help her put it together. And then what happened? She got the puzzle together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I say that to say what? That again, we are all pieces of someone else's puzzle. And the significant aspect of it is because the reason success was achieved is because sometimes we are putting vision, we have visions, we have things that we're looking to do, but we may not have the right people handing us the right pieces. Right? Because let's not
Absolutely.
trip. Let's not trip. Not everybody wants you to succeed. Not everybody's going to give you the right pieces. There are some people that don't want you to succeed. Why? Because they're not. Right? Now, that's no shade. I'm just saying basically that, again, we have to make sure that, again, when we're looking at these bigger visions and we're looking at these puzzle pieces that are of our life, that we got to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with the right people that allow to give us the right pieces that we need.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Our fearless leader says, shout out to the women who encourage, inspire, and add value in the spirit of influence. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Shout them
Yes,
out.
sir.
Shout them out. So when you're talking about the puzzle, right? I'm thinking how much that applies to life, right? Just endeavors in life. We have a passion for a certain type of job, and we get that job, and then we go we just go gun ho on the job instead of you know taking the pieces and
Mhm.
allowing them to fit in the right places. Because just because I go to school to be a counselor, don't mean I can counsel, right?
Mm, mm,
Just because I go to school to be a math teacher doesn't mean I know how to teach students math. It's a
mm,
process.
mm,
Any endeavor in your life is a process. Just because you're smart you're a genius at something don't mean, because a lot of geniuses, right? They're outcasts
mm,
because a lot of times they don't have the social acumen to be able to get into groups and do what they need to do. But they're geniuses in their own right.
mhm,
So when you were talking about the puzzle piece, I was just thinking about my life, right? Thinking about my life, thinking about some of the dreams I had growing up as a kid. Wanting to be a police officer, wanting to be a fireman, wanting to get into like computers and stuff
mhm,
growing up, all those things.
mhm,
And not really having the people there that really knew how to encourage me toward those spaces. Not
mm,
not really knowing how to steer me in those proper directions, right?
mhm,
And what just thinking about where it led me to, it led me to a prison. That's where those things led me to prison, being that I didn't have those proper guides that I may have needed. Don't regret it a day. Don't get me wrong. Don't regret it a day, because even in the midst of that situation, the puzzle pieces began to fall into place. I met great men in prison, great
mm.
men in prison from all
Ooh.
walks of life. Some of them, and a lot of people I'm still in contact today. Some of them I'm not in contact with, but they all each one added another piece of the puzzle to my life, to the journey I was on. I was the shy
Mm,
kid. I didn't want to talk to people, but what did I end up doing? Began to teach people the things I've learned, began to share, began to stand up in front of crowds, right? And when I got out of prison, those things rolled over. Being able to be the youth minister at my church, and being able to add value to some of the kids' lives and things like that. So yeah, as you were talking about though, as you were talking about the story with your daughter, I began to see my story, right?
mhm,
Within those pieces, and the transformation that manifested, which I'm pretty sure your daughter seen as she put the edges together and began to fill in
mhm,
the eventual transformation of those pieces into this picture, the picture that she wanted to see. eventually manifested.
Yeah. No, that's good, bro. And I love the fact that you said, and I love the way that you approach that because, in most cases, even when we're thinking about just our life and just the things that have led us to the places that, we want to be or the places that we are now. But I love the fact that you said that again, even the bad aspects, right? The not so great, they were still a part of your picture. They were the necessary pieces too, even though we may not have thought about it at the time, right? Because like you said, you know, the things that led you into prison then also gave you more pieces to your puzzle, right? Who
Hmm.
here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's where I would be looking for a piece of my puzzle, right? But you just don't know where those pieces are coming from, right? You never know who is going to be a part of your life, who's going to be able to help you and add influence and add value, right? Because again, brothers in influence, we're about influence, we're about leadership, life, leadership, and community. Those are all puzzles. Those are all pictures. Those, even when you put those together, it's just those are all various different pieces of all various different types of puzzles. The bigger picture.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
So somebody said both y'all names start with SH. Y'all siblings. We are brothers in influence.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
brothers from another mother. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, that hey, and I've told you guys this oftentimes. I'm like, we family. We are, and that's why we do what we do.
Mhm.
Because the community we've built, we want other people to take part of and be able to, uh, get in the community and ask questions and share without the fear of someone trying to put you down
All
or
right.
someone trying to take advantage of you. No, it's a community.
Mhm.
Community breeds success.
Mm.
Community breeds success. You as an individual, yeah, you can be successful, but you will not reach your full potential without community around you. Whether it's
Mm.
another person, whether it's two other people. We've said this before. Every great organization throughout history did not get to where it was with a single individual,
Mm.
right? It started with a vision with someone, but it manifested with greatness with uh, all others that contributed to the success of that organization.
Yeah.
And that's what
Hey.
we want to build here.
Yeah. So, what came to mind when you said it, and that's a great point, is when you said, again, community, right? And that's what we're building. The thing that jumped in my mind was leverage, right?
Mm,
Because that's what happens within communities. That's what happens within connections and relationships. That's what happens when people of like-minded or that or have the same aspirations and goals or looking to just achieve it don't even have to be the same level but looking to achieve another level of success wherever they may be. It's all about being able to leverage that community, being able to leverage that relationship, because again, it's another piece, right? Even if we think about just what you were talking about, again, your experiences and going and going to prison and being able to find other pieces to your puzzle in life. I mean, in there, because who you were connected to, who you were able to get information and get life and experiences from, you were able to leverage that. You're leveraging it now, right? That what makes your message so powerful, what makes your life so powerful, what makes your even you as you're putting these pieces together so powerful, because you're leveraging every aspect of it. So I kind of even want to even circle back, bro, to because when you started this whole conversation about puzzles, right? That you said that we try to force pieces that don't go,
yeah.
right? Because I think that's even now, if we just think of the landscape of where we're at, just overall, just national, globally, just in general, like I think that even within business, within our communities, we're finding that we might have pieces that we're trying to force into that really aren't supposed to be there. So,
Yeah.
w- what do we do? How do we identify when the pieces that we're trying to fit together don't fit together?
Yeah. I think one of the things, so because when we talk, so let's talk relationships, right? Because when we talk about
Mm,
pieces, that's kind of where it's going to be at, right? Relationships, right? And so oftentimes, uh, whatever the relationship is, just if we're
mm,
talking about relationships, period. So there's people that we can think back. I'm often thinking about some of the people I were in prison with, just wondering, hey, I wonder what happened with such, because I'm not in communicate.
mm-hmm,
There are people I'm still communicating with that I've known for 15 years, 20 something years now, from day one, right? Those individuals. Others I met along the way that it was a good relationship when it was, but now friends on Facebook or whatever. But that relationship that was then, and now is just, hey, how you doing? Hey, see you doing good, maybe. But that's it. Now I could attempt to try to get back what was, but I learned one thing I learned about myself is that uh, when I love, right?
mm,
When we talk about relationship, when we get in a relationship, it's love. I tell people this all the time. You've done there's nothing you've done, you will do, that will change my relationship with you. So other people, like, you could do something that you don't agree with, and that the relationship's over after that. I don't view it like that.
mm,
I decided that we have a relationship, and that's what it is. So when we talk about, you know, pieces not fitting, one of the key things is us as individuals, we have to know us. That's the key thing. We have to know who we are. If you don't know who you are, and I'm a witness that I didn't know who I was for years, that's what led me to prison. I was trying to fit in, right? I was trying to, my mama taught me the right thing to do. She taught me how to. I used to always be like, Mom, can I spend the night over my friend's house? She would say, them ain't your friends, them your associates.
mm,
Right?
mm,
Right? Never really understood it until later on, but I eventually got it.
mm-hmm.
I wish I would have got it before, but hey, lesson learned, right?
Right, right, right,
so
right.
so I didn't know who I was, so I was trying to fit into these different spaces. I'm trying to fit into spaces that I knew in my heart I shouldn't be in.
Mm,
So just think about that. I knew I shouldn't be here, but I was still trying to fit in these spaces because there was something missing. Now that I know who I am, right? I'm not trying to fit into spaces to fit, because I know where I fit. I know who I am. So I know where I fit as an individual. Me knowing me, knowing I'm a man of God, knowing I'm like I say, I'm a thought coach. So I know that the way we think is going to produce our life. So if you
mm,
have, as people say, that stinking thinking, you're gonna have a stinking life. Right?
mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so I think that's the number one priority. If you don't know yourself, you'll continually attempt to fit in the wrong spaces, and
Mm,
you'll continually fail in those spaces.
yeah, yeah. I love that. So, yeah, whew. Well, I don't know. There's a lot there. There's a lot in that. The one thing I loved about it that you brought to the surface again. So you talked about again forcing pieces that don't go together, right? And the thing about it is I agree. It's all about relationship because relationships allow you to understand and they give you insight, right? So you even brought in so relationships, but then you also said knowing yourself, right? Self-awareness, because even in the relationship you have to have first a relationship with yourself, okay? Because here's the reality: it's your picture, it's your puzzle, right?
Hmm.
The reason why, so remember in the story that I shared about me and my daughter, she got the picture or she got the puzzle because she liked the picture. I It wasn't my puzzle, it was her puzzle. She liked the picture because she got the puzzle because she liked the picture. She liked unicorns, she liked horses. I don't remember if it's a horses, unicorn. It was one of the two, if not both. Right. But that's why she got the picture. Right. And here's the thing. Oftentimes when we're trying to put our puzzle together, when we're forcing pieces, what happens? What happens when we're trying to force something?
Breaks,
Frustration. Yeah, but
frustration,
frustration.
breaks. Yeah.
Yeah, breaks, frustration. And then what do we then end up doing? Quitting because it's not working. The piece looks like it goes, but we're forcing it. We're trying to push it in there to make it go, but it's not the right piece. But if we have the right relationships, right? First, the relationship with ourselves, knowing who we are, and then build the right relationships with others that can help us put our puzzle together, then our success rate goes higher. We can build in our. So the other thing that came to mind was is just even as a growth coach, there's a 5-step process, which is strategic mindset process. And in that strategic mindset process, the first thing is you have to face reality. In facing reality, you got to identify what works and what doesn't work. Right. The next is self-awareness. Well, they say self-knowledge, but self-awareness, right? Know thyself. So once you identify what's not working, then you got to identify, okay, so what do I have? What am I missing? What do I need? Right. The third aspect of that is then going into relationship management. Build the relationships. But here's the reality. We can't really build quality relationships. I can't say we can't, but it's just more of a challenge to build quality relationships if we don't know who we are,
Yeah.
or if we don't have a good idea of who we are. Because not saying that we're not going to be able to build relationships, but we need to build the right relationships, right? Because building the right relationships is going to put us in the right opportunities at the right time to get the desired results that we're looking for. So yeah, that was what came to mind when you said that. But you're absolutely right, man. Like relationships are very important. They're strategic relationships, right? And it's funny because even as I'm thinking and we're talking through this all sounds great, right? It all sounds great. It's I would even say it's quote unquote theory, but it's when you put it into practice. I think the other aspect or the importance of trying to force puzzle pieces or pieces together that don't go is the experience that we gain from trying to force that piece. The practice of trying to put the puzzle together, but even in forcing pieces together, identifying and understanding like, okay, that piece don't go to work. So then we got to step back. We got to reflect. We got to take pause. We need to reset. We need to refocus. We need to look at the picture differently. Because if the piece is not doesn't fit, is it the piece's fault, or is it just we're not taking the time to put the right practices in place or put together the right relationships or taking the time to really identify like who am I? What am I need to do? Like there's other aspects of putting this puzzle together that we have to take in together. It's not just putting the pieces together, but it's learning what those pieces look like, making sure that the bigger picture's there. Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
be quiet because I can go
No,
on.
you good. And something else you said around the relationship thing, right? And talking about the right relationships. I having someone. Ultimately, we make our own decisions,
Hmm.
but having someone to say, "Hey, bro, maybe you shouldn't do that. Hey, let's think this through." Like that's one thing I love about you guys. Anytime one of us brings something up, we always, we go into coach mode. I'm just to be honest, because that's what we do. So it's like,
Hmm.
okay, so what's the benefits,
Hmm.
right? Or how does this fit into your long term goals?
Hmm.
And once again, just thinking about myself, and I honestly I can't think of someone that literally told me you shouldn't be doing this. This isn't for you, right?
Hmm.
This type of life, you shouldn't be doing this. Because
Hmm.
I just grew up in an environment where everybody was selling drugs. And I,
Hmm.
I remember at probably, I don't know if I was a teen yet, but my mama and my aunt asking me and my cousin, we were on the same age as, are like, are y'all gonna be selling drugs or something similar? And we like, no. But that's the environment we were in. I know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my family and stuff, they pushed me away from it, but there was no one literally like that said, "Hey man, this ain't what you should be doing.
Right.
You shouldn't be." You know what I'm saying? They tried to keep me out of but what did I do? I couldn't hang around y'all, start hanging with some other people, and then they was doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
so so that thing about relationship and the right relationships, if you don't have, if you're constantly making mistakes trying to fit the wrong pieces in the wrong areas, and there's no one in your life that has said like you shouldn't be doing this or you should think about this, you might need to find some new relationships. Right. That's one of the things. You may need to find some new relationships or have some conversations with some of the people, because often a lot of times some people feel like they can't say that to you
Mm-hmm.
too. So you
Mm-hmm.
might have some right people, right, some of those right relationships, but for whatever reason, they might feel like they can't say nothing to you because you might be one of them people that it turns into an argument. This is my life and
Mm-hmm.
this, that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just something to think about when around the right relationships. You
Mm-hmm.
know, everybody in your life ain't there for life.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, everybody in your life ain't there for life.
That's good, bro.
Some
That's
people are
good.
there for seasons, man, for a time, for a season. You ever been out at a place and you have a conversation with somebody that just blesses you? Never see that person again, but you'll never forget that conversation, right? So some
Mm-hmm.
things are there for a time, for a season, and then other things are there for a lifetime.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because here's the thing, it's not like you find the right piece, you put it together, you put the piece and you connect it. You don't go back and take it off, right? You don't disconnect it again and then try to put it like that's not what we do. Like again, once you put the pieces together, when they start coming together, you move on to the next, right? Um, yeah, you're absolutely right. Not everybody in our life is there for life, right? Uh, and I love the fact that you brought like so when you said, even for us, like, between me, you and Ian, that even in our conversations and when we come together and trying to, just help each other out, that we go into that coach mode. That's just our leadership, right? That's us going into our leadership because coaching is a leadership style, right? It's one of the various many styles of leadership, right? Life, leadership, and community. So we're just doing what it is that we said we were going to do for each other, right? Within our small community, within us three, our little community, right? We said we were going to help each other, right? That meant coaching. That meant, hey, if that means there's some hard conversations, hey, we're going to have some hard conversations,
Mm.
right? In love, though, right? Understanding that, again, the relationship has provided us the authority and the right to actually give that type of feedback.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest, there's been times when we've had conversations and there might have been something that hurt my feelings a little bit, but I needed to hear it. Right? I needed to hear it, right? Not that you were trying to, but it just, it hurt. Nobody like getting stuff. Hey, when we go to church and the preacher be up there, he be killing it, be killing it. But he be just all on your feet, be tearing your toes up, be stepping on them, stomping on them, right? Because because something it was necessary, it was needed, and it just it resonated with you, right? And that's what I think happens when we start connecting ourselves with the right people in the right way, getting those opportunities. Those relationships become those different pieces that allow us to not really identify, okay, who I'm trying to be, but also provides the opportunity for us to even get to that next level of growth, right? That next level of experiencing even more of my potential, because ultimately it's a constant cycle of how do I grow, how do I get to that next level, how do I find that next piece of the puzzle. And the thing about it is, even if I can like even pull business into the conversation, because I'm getting ready to do a team building uh session and training with an organization, and I'm going to use this analogy of puzzles, right? Because talking about teamwork. But I'm going to drop this, and I don't know if I should drop this on here or not. But I think it's relevant. It's definitely relevant, and it's really good. So I'm going to drop it. Here's the thing. We can have teams, right? We can have people on our teams, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the right puzzle, right? They're the right piece, right? Puzzles come in various different sizes. They're big pieces, they're small pieces. And again, they're various different pictures. So we could have a team, again, they're all a puzzle piece, but they're the wrong piece for that puzzle. They're the wrong piece for that picture, for that vision. They're on the wrong team. So how do you identify those pieces? Again, do we continue to force that piece because because it's in the box, right? It's in the box. It's a part of that puzzle, or do we? Does that make sense? Like, how do we continue to just to try to force that?
Yeah,
I think that's.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think a part of that is uh we don't look back, right? So just say you have just say it's an organization, and then you have uh a training a training team that's going to train people in every section of the organization. So that training team, they start out with a mission and a vision and a purpose, and 6 months down the line, you know, they're doing great things and pulling other people in because they're getting bigger and they're on this journey, but they fail to look back and say, okay, where did we start at? What was our mission? What was our purpose? Right? And if you do that, oftentimes you won't grow before your time. That's why a lot of people fail. They grow before their time. They don't look back at the plan, at the vision, at what they really want. They're just seeing the next opportunity and they're jumping to that next opportunity, and they're not prepared for it. And oftentimes they jumped ahead 2 or 3 opportunities, and it on the outside it looks like they're doing great things, but they're stressed, right? They're sleepless nights because of all these things, and they're just growing before their time. So I think that's one of the things that if you don't look back and reflect often enough, you're actually instead of being on a journey to success, you're on a journey to failure, right?
Now, so you bring in another piece of the puzzle. Right. So you drop another piece of the puzzle, right? And there's an illustration. I wish I had that illustration. I could show it to you guys because we're talking about a puzzle, but let's even talk about just building a wall, right? Using bricks. Okay. So there was this illustration that I saw that is basically stairs, right? That this illustration, this cartoon character was walking up these stairs, right? But the interesting thing about the stairs is that on each stone, brick, or whatever it was in this illustration, there was a word written on each one of them, right? And the crazy thing about it is that some of the words on the bricks or the blocks or whatever it was that made the image was failure, right? And I'm glad you brought that in because failure is just another piece of the puzzle. Failure is necessary because here's the reality. The only reason why you got that puzzle piece called failure is because you tried to do something that you needed to fail in order to learn something else about yourself, to then gain a different relationship that allow you to get the piece of the puzzle that now gives you something to attach to and connect to. Because failures, it's a part of life. It's a part of the puzzle. Even the pieces that you force together, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that that piece doesn't go to that puzzle. It just doesn't connect to that piece. But what is the lesson learned? Right? and that could be something of failure. And I think the reason, like, so I just even want to just everybody who's watching or who's tuning in now and who's tuning in later, we're talking through this concept of puzzles, but we're talking through this concept of just life, leadership, and community. That again, we're all connected. We're all pieces of someone else's puzzle. We're all pieces um, of 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 a different vision, of someone else's vision, of our own vision. So we can't just look at our puzzle and be so focused on our puzzle that we don't try to help other people put their puzzles together. Because look, here's the reality. You may be able to see something that someone else doesn't have, or see something someone else doesn't see, because they're so focused on a certain aspect of their puzzle that they get blinded, right? Those are those blind spots. But I love it, right? Because failure is so intricate to our ability to achieve success that I think it's actually probably the most important piece of our puzzle.
Yeah.
Because without failure, you can't really achieve success, right? Because each failure is a lesson. Each failure provides another piece as far as what works, what doesn't work, who you are, finding another level. It helps you identify other relationships, right? There's so many different ways you can go with that. But you're absolutely right. Failure is so important, and we all do it. And it's funny because that would be a part of the part of the puzzle that's so important, it's so intricate, but it's that one piece that we don't want. So it's almost that piece that we almost throw off to the side and say it doesn't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's failure isn't comfortable, right? It's not something that's fun. It's not something that we like, right? It hurts. It shoot. In some cases, boy, it might make you cry because it hurts your feelings, but it's necessary. It's necessary. Yeah, because there's going to be plenty of times. I mean, there's plenty of times, just even within our group, in our relationships, we're gonna have those challenging aspects where something is going to fail, or it's going to be something that's going to hurt so bad that it might bring us to tears. All right, but we're going to count on each other for us to identify and help us to see and understand that again, it was the piece that was necessary. It was the piece that was needed in order for you to get to that next level.
It sound like you saying the road to success is paved with failure, disappointment, upset, challenges, but at the end, if you keep laying them bricks, you'll reach your goals, your vision, and continue to grow. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
absolutely. And we need to hear things like this. I think that's key, right? We need
Mm-hmm.
to hear those stories of successes and failures, the stories of challenges, right? If you're saying you're on a journey, and I tell people, I say, if you tell me about the five closest people to you, and maybe the five recent books you've read, I can tell you about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that, right? The five closest people to you, and the last five books you read. Are you
Mm-hmm.
around people that speak success into your life, growth into your life, right? Those that are there encouraging you on a daily basis or weekly, monthly basis, right? They're they've bought into your vision, right? And what do I mean? So this is buying into someone's vision. That's what it is. It's putting some skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That whether it's money, whether it's encouragement, whatever it is, but buying into someone's vision, it isn't just saying you can do it, right? And we don't realize how important it is that when someone that we call a friend or a family member or whatever that is doing something, how important it is to buy into their vision. That encourages them, that helps them be successful. On the other
Mm,
end, when we talk about the books, what are you reading? You
mm,
say you say you want to be successful in whatever this endeavor you're on, whatever this journey you're on, but what are you consuming around that? That will tell me who you are. And so we have to evaluate these things. We say we want something. What are we doing to accomplish that goal or dream? I think that's really important. We have to be intentional with our success.
mm-hmm,
Some people got successful by mistake. It's happened, but that is the norm.
mm-hmm.
You have to be intentional if you want to be successful in whatever that passion or dream you have.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, man, I think as we're coming up on the hour already. Um, man, those that are listening, I hope this helps. Our yeah, I pray it helps. And it's kind of a conversation that, again, like Shante said, is something that it's a discussion and a conversation that has to be had. But more importantly, I think it's just one of those things that has to be really contemplated, and you have to really just take pause and reflect on it, because it's what we're talking about here is just, again, looking at what it is that you're trying to do. Again, brothers of influence, like, we're here to inspire, we're here to influence, we're here to help you grow. If you're a part of the community, we're just looking to try to just share our experiences, our journey with you, to help you get to that next level. We're just trying to be a piece, right, of your puzzle, or help you identify another piece of that puzzle. Through our relationship, through our relationship with you, through our relationships with other people. I mean, here's just to be completely transparent, man. I literally, like, even to this day, like, at this particular point, right, through my business, there has been many times where I'm like trying to force things to happen, and I'm forcing these pieces, and because of what I know about business, I'm like, this should work, but it's not working, and I'm forcing it, and then I'm trying to build these other relationships. So my point is, Shate, is that because I continue to push, I continue to identify and build the relationships, build myself, that I have start making the conscious effort to really take the time to look at the bigger picture and identify, okay, what is it that I'm trying to put together, and how do these pieces fit? Asking the right questions, connecting with the right people, having conversations with you brothers, right? Because we're all after the same thing. We're just all after it in different ways. We're all looking to be successful. We're all looking to achieve whatever goal that looks like, but we're looking to achieve it in our way, right? And for whatever reason that may be. And the thing about it is that our success helps other people be successful. So even when I look about and think about just the things that I've achieved and the things I've been successful at, has actually laid the opportunity for other people to achieve bigger and greater things because of the things that I've achieved, or led them to other aspects or avenues of success because of the things that I was successful in. And when it comes down to it, man, that's, again, community. Those are the various different pieces. I would even say, when we put our puzzle together, that's a piece for someone else's vision,
Hmm.
because it's going to fit somewhere. And again, the experience in you putting the puzzle together, or the piece together, or that vision together, is going to allow you to then give practical application to someone that is dealing with or going through something very similar.
Yes.
Right. And that even just goes into what you were talking about, being intentional, right? The intentionality of being able to make those connections, the intentionality of being able to face reality and identify what's working, what's not working, being intentional about identifying, okay, so what self-knowledge do I need to gain about myself so I can be effective in putting my vision together, How do I need to be intentional about building my relationships and managing the relationships? Because like you said, just because you have people in your life, that doesn't mean they're in your life for life. They're only there for a moment, right? They might be just there just to hand you a piece, like, hey, bro, this piece fits right there. And then it pops in and you be like, oh, and then you turn around to thank them and then they're gone. But you would have never known, right? That piece was there, or that piece that you had the piece, unless they showed it to you. So I say that just to encourage you, right? Don't get mad if you're trying to force a piece that doesn't fit. Don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. Don't quit. Right? Just continue to put the puzzle together. Continue to see the vision. Continue to believe in it. Identify what's working, what's not working. Identify what you need to do, what skill sets that you needed to grow and develop, what things that you need to work on for yourself in order for you to continue to build the vision. What relationships do you need? How do you build those relationships? Do you currently already have the relationships? If you are, how are you nurturing those relationships? Why? Because they're all pieces of the puzzle, right? They're all pieces of the puzzle.
What more could I say? We are Brothers in Influence podcast, where we stand to inspire, encourage, and add value in the areas of life, leadership, and community.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all for joining us. We holla.